don't know.
This meeting is being recorded.
Admitted for me. So
Hey Ryan, we could hear you a minute ago, but now we can't.
might be my headphones. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Misty isn't here today. She's on a call with a client. So I'm going to be adding people and handling the admin stuff as well. So a little under the weather too, guys. So bear with me, but we will get through it. And hopefully everyone has some questions. If you guys, I'm going to give it just a couple minutes as usual, just get everyone in. And then if you have a question already, throw it in the chat for me. If you want your listing reviewed, throw it in the chat as always, and make sure it's in the chat that goes to everyone. People just send things to the AI companion, and I can't see that.
No, I think so. Yeah. I love the volume. Microphone. Volume.
All right. Let's see. Everyone's having a good week.
Choose where to play sound speakers. Oh, volume's off. That should probably do.
I'm gonna try to mute people. You should come in muted. Let's see. All right, cool. I spent the day at Disneyland yesterday with my 4-year-old. She turned 4. And so we went to Disneyland for her birthday. And I don't know if it's Disneyland that got me sick or my body's just run down from having to yell at 2 kids all day for 8 hours and try not to lose them. So, but either way, it was a good time. They had the best day ever. So that's all that really matters. Disneyland, if anyone's ever been, it can be a little bit of a shit show with the amount of people there. So, but yesterday wasn't too bad. So it might be a good time of the year to go. But all right, get to the chat here. All right, we got listings in here. Anyone have a question? I want to kind of go over the questions first.
I don't know how to ask.
Sophia, we can hear you.
So I figured out how to fix the fact that Airbnb was using the wrong photo of my dining table for my cover photo of the swimming pool, right? I mean, I had to go in to a tech place and we figured out that we needed to delete the photo of the dining table, right? We just had to get that out of there. And then it clicked in and allowed the cover photo that it showed that I had selected. It showed it, but it wouldn't put anything other than the dining table as the cover photo. But that fixed it. And then I could upload the dining table, after, I don't know, it was like it was stuck or something. So if anyone else is having issues with Airbnb and not being able to put up the photos they're wanting, you just have to not delete the photo you're wanting and then upload it. That's what Airbnb said to do. That's what other people, that wasn't it. It was to delete the photo they kept using instead of the photo I wanted. That's what had to be deleted and uploaded.
Okay.
So that took about 4 hours.
Yeah, it's not always the easiest with technology, but yeah, that's what I was telling you. Sometimes you just have to get rid of it and re-add it back in. So I'm glad that worked for
Well,
you.
you had said, and everyone else had said, to edit the cover photo, but that wasn't it. It was to edit the wrong photo, had to be eliminated, and then with eliminating that wrong photo, it kicked in the one I had selected. So
Okay, cool. Well, thank you for letting us know. Um, it sounds
Yeah, I have a
good.
quick question.
Yeah, what's up, Liddell?
I noticed that my batteries in the quick thing are I've had to replace them a couple of times. The cleaner said she thinks it might be because there is a long time between when you unlocks and when it relocks. Is that something? Do you know? Or
What we've found is usually it's a weak Wi-Fi signal. And so if it's
oh,
constantly looking for Wi-Fi, it'll drain the battery. So sometimes you need to put an extender near the door.
okay. And what about and also, is it true that you have to literally change the batteries at like 20%, or you have to keep it up above a certain?
It's not, you don't have to, but I would because I don't feel like the battery gauges are accurate because once it gets to like that 20%, all of a sudden that can go in an hour. And so sometimes it'll last a while, but we have seen it just jump down. So we like to keep them actually above 50%. And what you can do too is buy some rechargeable batteries. So the cleaners can just swap them out every time
Oh, okay.
with the ones that are charging.
Okay. And does that have an effect on, because I've been kicked off of Verbo a number of times. I keep getting a message from Verbo, from Guesty, that I'm not connected to Verbo. And I've had that like about 3 or 4 times and have to go back in and reconnect it. One time I talked to Guesty, they said something about the quick. I think it was. I think it didn't. I think they didn't send out the code because I wasn't connected to Verbo, which was bizarre. I don't know. Anyway.
I shouldn't have anything to do with the channels at all.
Okay.
If the quickset lock isn't communicating though, if that's what you're referring to, like the quickset's not communicating into Guesty for you, then it could be a Wi-Fi issue as well. And so I would highly recommend everyone have a strong Wi-Fi to their door locks because you don't want it to get disconnected. It's just a pain in the butt if that happens. So you want to just get an extender. You can get them pretty cheap. Just get it, plugged into the nearest outlet to the front door.
Okay. Thanks.
Any house that really has multiple levels too, I'd recommend an extender. But I mean, we were in the Midwest when we started, and most of the Wi-Fi goes in the basement, and so you definitely need extenders throughout. So Wi-Fi also, just for everyone to understand, it does travel better down supposedly. So if you place it higher in the house, if you have multiple levels, it'll do a little bit better too. And then it does go up. That's at least what I've been told by the Wi-Fi nerds out there. All right. Let's see. Any other questions, guys? Nothing? No Q&A today? Right to some listings. All right, Sarah, you're first. So, Sarah, we met, right? Hey, actually, let me do something real quick for you guys. So anyone on this call that isn't signed up for the design giveaway, that is going to be in about 10 days or so. It's February 2nd that we're announcing it. So if you are not signed up for it, I'll actually post it in the chat here, just so everyone has it. I will also post where the videos get stored. Every week, these are recorded and they get downloaded and uploaded to our YouTube. So if you subscribe to us there, you can get a copy of all these in case you can't be on. So they aren't edited at all, guys. So if there's any blank spaces or anything like that, I'm not going to go through and edit an hour video. But I just think the content's important for everyone. So let me so do me a favor, guys. If you are signed up for the design giveaway for this month, will you just put like a 1 in the chat for me? Number 1. Olga, yeah, we met. You're signed up. There's a link for anyone that isn't. So, like I said, that gets announced on February 2nd. We're pretty excited. This month has been a lot of good houses that we've looked at, and so should be a good one either way. For everyone that doesn't win too, we will have something for you, as I've told you before. So you win either way. But Sarah, let's look at your Airbnb. Sarah, we met last week,
I think so.
2 weeks ago. Is this we didn't look at this one, did we?
No, this is a different one.
Okay. I was like, you were working on your house.
Yeah.
Is this your first one?
This is just one of the other ones that my mother-in-law owns.
Okay, cool. My focus on. All right. Let me share my screen. What do you want to tell me about it? Anything?
It's slow season here in Colorado, so we expect it to be slow, but not this slow. And I'm aware that it doesn't have like all the amenities and the great design that a lot of the competitors might have, but it is a really big house in a great area, and we've added, a lot of love to it. And so just would love to get any feedback on why you think it might be kind of slower this year than in past years.
Okay, cool. So real quick, I'll scroll through the photos and make sure I'm not putting my foot right in my mouth completely. But the title is, I actually just posted on Instagram yesterday about titles. I don't know if you saw that at all, but if you guys don't follow our Instagram, I would recommend it. We were doing 30 days of tips every day, going over some stuff that you guys probably hear on this call too. But that's just Jay Stays if you search for us on Instagram. So, but what I will say is game day is that for the Broncos.
Yeah, so they're in the playoffs now, and the next game weekend, which is coming up, I think next weekend, is not booked, and so we're trying to attract people that are coming into town for the game. It's a pretty big one.
Then I would actually, if that's something you want to try, I'm not completely opposed to it since that is a big amenity, right? Being near the stadium, but I would actually mention the team name here.
Okay.
I don't know if you might get pushback on that, but I would try it. and make them tell you no. And, I'd rather apologize than ask for permission. But yeah.
And then question about that, would you put the Broncos or would you put I think it's Patriots? I can't remember who they're playing. I'm not a football girl. But would you put the opposing team since mostly people probably be coming from out of town to watch it, or would you more cater to local people who just want a place to host a large gathering?
I don't really like marketing to local people. A lot of
Yeah.
times they tend to be the worst guests too. So maybe that. But I think anyone that's going for the Patriot game is gonna want that. Like they're gonna know what they're looking at. So I think posting stuff about Patriots might be a little confusing since they are looking in Colorado. So
Just put Bronco.
I think Bronco. Yeah,
Okay.
that's where I would think is maybe Broncos headquarters.
Bronco game HQ.
Yeah,
Something
something
like
like that. Yeah. You don't need to do both of these though.
Okay.
Either do that or this.
Like maybe 8 minutes to Bronco game and then something else.
Yeah. So my rules on titles, and again, I posted this yesterday, but you want a descriptor, you want an adjective in the beginning. It should be something that is cozy, luxury, oasis, something to that matter. It's going to be something that the title should be changed every 30 days. You should be swapping them out. You should be, I don't think it makes a gigantic difference to your listing, but it is activity for you to show Airbnb that you're doing stuff. So that descriptor can be changed, is what I'm saying. So don't fall in love with any of it. Also, then after that, you want to put every amenity you can fit into the 50 characters you get. And up here basically has that your amenities are that you're close to the stadium and that you sleep 18. I imagine you're not the only one, right? And so we need to think of the things that you have that other people don't. So we need to think of, you have a game system here. Like I said, we'll go through the photos, but it needs to be the best amenities. A good trick for people is if you have a good about this space, which it looks like you do, just copy and paste this into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to optimize a title for you. It'll give you a few different options. You can kind of combine, mix and match what makes sense, but they'll find a way to fit the words or shrink them down to fit into 50 characters. So does that make sense?
Yep. Thank you.
Went over this last week, but I hate the organizing photos thing in Airbnb. I don't do it because, again, so say I want to see this photo, I have to find it, and I can see it right here. But normally, if it's not on the front, I want to see this photo, I have to find it again, and that drives me nuts. Also, from a sales point of view,
How do you undo it?
it's a good question. I have no idea. I don't know. I
They
don't.
forced me into that.
Yeah, they really try hard for you to do it. I agree. It's not, they make it seem like you have to. But anyways, we don't. I would have to look into that to see how to undo it. But so your first photo is doing 80% of the selling for you, right? People are scrolling, they see this photo only, they don't see any of these other ones. And so they're going to assume this is the best photo you got. And maybe it is. We'll have to scroll through. I can tell you as we go through if I think you have a better one. But just something to consider. If your photo is a bedroom, if it is a living room that is just a normal living room, and that's your first photo, and that's the best photo you have, we need to work on your listing. You don't have a proper STR in today's market to make good money. That's just the unfortunate truth that we're in. Unless you have a super low mortgage or anything like that, you're gonna struggle. Or you don't owe any money on the house. You're just not going to be in the top 20% of Airbnbs with that in mind. And so you need to be in the top 20% because they're making 80% of the money. But a couple things real quick. So we'll go through the photos, look at that. I'm not a huge fan of these type of things where it's kind of like a Canva edit or some kind of sheet put together. Now, with Airbnb, a lot of things are like what's your philosophy, right? What's your belief on it all? I also don't like the photos that are chopped into like 4 photos for your main photo as well. I, I saying that out loud, I'm not even sure 100% why I dislike it so much, but it doesn't feel as expensive as I want it to feel. So to me, this is just somewhat cheapened. It's also why with our designs, we don't paint everything pink and bright yellow and everything else too. I think that can also be a trend that can cheapen your place. And so like we don't like a lot of these edits, we just don't do. Especially like I just don't like including personally areas that aren't the house that they're renting into the place, because to me, if they're coming to Colorado, they know what they're coming for too. But again, our philosophy to it, just not a huge fan of that. But I don't think that's the reason why you're not getting bookings. So the main thing really going on here, Sarah, is it's just a simple house. And 5 years ago, 10 years ago, this house would have killed, would have done great. It just, in today's market, it's just someone's home. At the end of the day, this is the biggest amenity that you have. That's going to draw people. That's different than anyone else. And a Pac-Man game, hard to play in big groups. You sleep 18 people, right? It's one little game here, and so it's not much of an amenity that I can enjoy with my kids, my friends, whoever I'm coming with. Overall design, again, it's a super nice house, but it's just a house, right? You're not pitching much other than cramming 2 beds into a bedroom. There isn't a whole lot of you telling the guests that this is a professionally run STR.
Mm.
And there's a lot of beds in a lot of rooms.
The rooms are huge.
Yeah, they look like it. You desperately need some headboards though.
Yeah.
It's just it's just, I mean this in the nicest way, but it's just very basic. So I imagine this is what I always talk about. This is a commodity. There's a lot of houses that look just like this. And so what you're going to do is you're going to have to keep lowering your rates as everyone else is doing too. And you're going to have to keep competing on the price. And so when we set people up, when we design places, we're shooting to decommoditize the place to where you're not competing on price, you're competing on design. And so that can be done with wallpaper, that can be done with different looking furniture. We're not going to come, put a $5,000 couch. This probably looks like a more expensive couch than we would ever actually buy, but our furniture would look more substantial. The art on the walls is just light. A lot of canvases throughout. Like it needs a refresh for sure in today's market. I love the beanie thing.
Thanks. If you were to add one amenity that you think would be like the highest return on investment, what would you say that could be? There's a big backyard, so I've played around with different ideas back there. Of course, that's seasonal. But I don't think the owner's willing to invest much more. So if we were to just do like one big bang for the buck kind of thing, what would you think that might be?
A hot tub.
Hot tub.
Now, and this is me guessing, but
Do you want to go to porch party? Yes.
I need to mute everyone. I don't know how they get unmuted.
Yeah. Let's go.
Sorry, I didn't know who that is. So yeah, a hot tub 9 times out of 10 is gonna add revenue for you. I mean, actually, I would say 100% of the time, a hot tub is going to add revenue. I would have to look in the area and do some research to tell you the exact amenity that's gonna bring it. But it's cold right now. People like to have a hot tub in the winter. The winter months, the slow months especially, it's gonna drive more people to your place. The thing is, like, uh, what I keep saying about decommoditizing a place, this place looking like everyone else. Sorry, Misty, are you on?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, thank God. I need to make you a co-host.
Admin, really quick.
Please mute people. I am struggling on the struggle bus over here.
I know, I'm so sorry. The last meeting was long.
No, you're fine. It's my problem to solve, but so I can focus a little bit here. So, Sarah, so a hot tub is not everyone has a hot tub. There are a lot of places that do have hot tubs though too. So, but you're getting down smaller into the funnel, or towards, you could reverse it and say the top of the pyramid, right? You want to get in that top portion that there are only a few that look like you, that have the amenities like you, that feel the same as quality wise as you as well. And if you can get into that top, piece of the pyramid, the top triangle, you can disassociate your price with everyone else's. You're not competing anymore because there aren't enough of them that look like that do that for you. And so the demand is still there in the vacation market, but people are demanding that. And so if you don't have that anymore, your bookings are just you have less people that are gonna book your place. Most people have seen the last 3 years a decline each year. And like I've said on this call, is we were up last year, 33%. So pretty substantially. And that's just because there are less places that look like ours. There are less Airbnbs that have the amenities stacked the right way. And just like adding a hot tub too, it needs to be dressed up as well. So a lot of people might have a hot tub, but do they have a hot tub that can you see people entering? All right, cool. They might not have a hot tub that has the scene set either. They might not have like the string lights by the hot tub, or a privacy fence with the hooks on it, or maybe some kind of mural design on something, or whatever it is, just for the photo alone, just setting the scene of like where you're going to hang out when the day is done, or where you're going to spend time with friends, or where I'm going to be when my kids go to sleep, right? Like all these things that people are, imagining about a trip. Those are the things that need to be set up correctly. And so I would say if she has $5,000 to spend, that's probably going to be the biggest mover. Other than that, like I said, the whole place is just very light. It needs much more of this first photo of like the beanies and the skis, the old skis here. So you need more amenities.
About it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a big house. So what percentage of people with big houses? I'm just asking about big houses versus small houses in terms of how they produce, and what's the strategy behind both. Look at, are you looking for, if you have a big house like that, do you look for less vacancy, or I'm just.
No, honestly, like most of the houses that we manage are sleep 16 plus. And so, and we're usually we're shooting for 70% occupancy. Now, slow season, or once like maybe a big amenity isn't available, because we do a lot of pool houses, and once those are shut down, we may see a drop in occupancy. But places that sleep 16 are great. And honestly, if we're going to buy more Airbnbs, and we will always buy ones that sleep more than 16 people.
Really?
Yeah, honestly, it's everyone in the middle that is hurting pretty bad. So if you have I don't want to offend you here, Liddell, but a 3-bedroom house, those tend to, there's just a lot of them. There's a lot of houses. So by sleeping 16 plus, you've already added an amenity. You've already differentiated yourself from other people because the if you look at like each market, and I don't know, I haven't looked at Lakewoods, but it doesn't matter. Every market you look at, like it's the majority of Airbnbs sleep somewhere between 6 and 10. Because that's what the average size house sleeps, right? And so there's more of those houses available to buy, to purchase, and so you're already a commodity at that point. So now what I tell people is go one way or the other. Buy super small, a one bedroom house that you can get super cheap and they can still make 4 grand a month, or go big. I'd rather go big because with the small ones, you need a lot of them. And that's just more guests, it's more problems, and more maintenance, more stuff that's going to go wrong. But yeah, it's a good size. It's going to fit multiple families. It could fit 3 families in there pretty comfortably. Now, if we were designing it, we would look at the layout. You have a lot of rooms with a lot of beds in them. We need to make sure that they make sense for families coming in, like where could the kids sleep or something like that. Where can the parents sleep? Where's their separation? Function matters a lot. I don't want to say just as much as form, but it's up there, really close. We want it to look really good, but we also want to make sense. You guys have gotten pretty good reviews overall, so I imagine the layout isn't too dysfunctional, but that's something that we would look at too. So, and then last thing real quick, are you connected to a pricing software?
Yes.
Okay. Why does it say Dante?
The owner.
Oh, are you a co-host or Shuko? Okay. What are you connected with?
Price Labs.
Cool. 3 night minimums are going to hurt you too. So when trying to rank on Airbnb, guys, you'll hear all the SEO bullshit and everything else online. There's really simple things that work for Airbnb. Do you have quality photos? Is something they're going to want to see, which your photos seem like they're pretty good quality. I'm not really worried about. They're actually looking at the quality of them, not what's in them. They want to know what your cancellation policy is, how flexible it is. They want to know, are you offering discounts, which you have strike-through pricing, but that's because you're lowering the rate probably to get some bookings right now. We install discounts, which are fake discounts. We just inflate the price and then we discount it on the back end for last minute and early bird discounts. So everything looks like someone's getting value. Airbnb thinks we're offering value too. So that's another thing. The last thing is your minimum nights available. So Airbnb is where they put you on the list when people are scrolling are places because they don't care about us as hosts, right? They don't give a shit about us. They only care about the guests. That's their clients. So you need to keep that in mind too. And so their goal is that if someone books your place, they'll have such a good experience of everything, not just there. They'll have a good booking experience. They'll have a good cancellation experience. They will have, a good stay then as well. That then will go rebook another place, someone else's place in the future, because that's all Airbnb cares about. They stare at me. It's like, she yelling at me.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That was my dog.
You're fine.
I thought I was on mute.
So you want, so anyways, that's what Airbnb is looking at, is how to keep the guests on the platform. And so the more flexible you are with your place, so the shorter minimum night stays that you allow, the shorter the cancellation policy, any of these things are perks for the guest. And so Airbnb is going to promote your place. Obviously, getting good reviews, though, is another part of it as well. So if you can get a good review, you have a flexibility to everything. That is how you move forward towards the front end. Okay?
Thank you.
Did that help at all?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Let's you have any questions, Misty?
So there's only just one that I've seen so far since I've been here or gotten on. Dottie put her listing in. And then Michael just posted his as well.
I actually have one question before we go to the next property.
Jens, hey.
Hey, Missy. The arcade game, we're looking at upgrading our property and putting 2, 3 in the laundry room or mudroom. And we were just wondering what size. We've seen a couple of them that are priced below $1,000. That might be the size that Sarah has here. But do we need to go extra there, or is just having a video game and a room dedicated for kids and games, is that sort of the strategy?
I don't know if you have an opinion on this, Misty, but it depends on the room size. It depends on what else is going on in there. The issue that Sarah has here is she just has the Pac-Man game. And just like with any amenity, the Pac-Man game is a small amenity in the Airbnb space. Like it's not moving the needle much. But with any amenity, you need to dress up around it. So you need to, like you mentioned, like make it a kid's room. You need to include the rest of the kid toys, a kid seated area where they could sit and maybe do Legos or color. You need to have other things in there, maybe some shelves for some games as well, or some toys or anything else that's going to make sense, blocks, magnet tiles, whatever it's going to be that is going to work, but it needs to be dressed up completely. When people make, like half measures don't work in Airbnb. So if you only do the games and that's it and call it a day, the needle will move. It's just probably not even enough to really, like you might make your investment back in like year one. And so to make an extra $1,000, like I don't want to do that. I don't even want to install them, to move the needle that much. But if you make a whole game room, we've posted pictures before, but we turned one of our sleeping areas in one of our original Airbnbs into like a kid area. And so there's stuff hung on the walls. Like we put a TV up there. You could find like an old Nintendo console. Maybe if it's a big enough space too, that's where you can include kid items in like bunk beds and such too. Like you can make it because that is enticing as a parent to be like, yeah, my kids will leave me alone for a little bit. Like this is something that they can go do for a while. So just like I said, no half measures.
Okay, thanks.
So, Missy, people were posting earlier. I don't know if you scrolled up. I'm gonna go to Robin here. Robin, are you still on?
I don't see Robin. I think Robin is not on anymore.
Okay.
I'm on Faye, his wife. We run the property.
Oh, she's under Faye. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
All good.
What you want the link to property?
No, I got it.
You do?
Yep. So
Is it the West Des Moines property?
let me click on it. It is, yep, West Des Moines.
Yeah, okay. So you gave me the right one.
I lived in Omaha and I just said Des Moines.
I know, it's like, who is this person? You know better than
I moved
that.
away. I'm done. Hey, some of the questions real quick too. So Dottie, you just have to share your listing. And so you can hit the little share button when you're looking at your listing. It's a little box with the arrow out of it. Respond to one of the texts that you get for the strategy call, and someone will get with you about finding some time. It is very, very busy right now. So an Instagram link, it's just at Jay's.
Yeah, sorry, I cannot. Like the earliest message I can see in chat is when I got on, so I can't see anything about that.
I did share my listing. This is Dottie. Did you not get it?
I see it later. No worries.
Okay, thanks.
All right, Robin,
There,
let's do it.
Robin's back on. Okay.
All right, Robin, Faye, they're here.
Hi there. Yeah, hi there.
How's it going?
Good, thank you. Good.
Good. All right. So let's look at this listing. How long you had it for?
We
launched.
You do it.
Yeah. We launched earlier this month, January 1st.
Okay, how's it going so far?
Good.
Good.
Two bookings.
Okay. Slow time, I imagine, for you right now. You
Yeah.
know when busy season is, like what's the draw to Des Moines?
Yeah. So it's sports tourism is the sort of the avatar that we're trying to dial into. So yeah, it's what in the teens at the moment. So it's slow for January and February, but we'll start to pick up from then.
Okay. I overall like your title. As I was just saying earlier, I don't know if you were on the call, but you were just hammering amenities in here.
Yeah.
And so you don't need to include new. I would include an adjective there, even though new is one, I guess. But I would have it be more about the place. So new is already included down here, not necessarily to double up there. And I don't think it's really going to entice people to be like, oh, this place is new. We should check it out. So overall, right away, I can tell I enjoy your photos. It looks like you designed the place, and I appreciate that. I assume this is a full-time STR. Cool. And then you got, I mean, your description, you got bullet points in here, which is the number one thing that I hammer. And yeah, it's like I did this myself. As I said earlier, I hate the photo tour, but if anyone knows how to fix it, maybe I'll look into how to undo it for people for the next call. But let's just scroll through some stuff. So first thing I'll say right away too, just like I said earlier, this is a very cool photo. This is a good looking living room. I am not the designer of the group, so I may not have that eye, but I'll just say overall, like you added contrast without making it cheap. So I like that a lot. But what I will say is up here, like also, I don't know if private patio is an amenity that I would include, but you have amenities. You have a hot tub, gym, and sauna, and not a single one of them is seen here. And so when people are scrolling, this is what they're getting. And so I would include your amenities first, your best photo first, because they're going to assume that everything gets worse from here on out. So if this is the best photo, I'm actually not going to think there are amenities included, as I'm just flying through listings looking for something that's going to stand out to me. There's a lot to go through, so people have to scroll. So we can look and see if we find a better one for you. But it most likely will include an amenity. So we didn't get to talk about this on the last review I was just doing, but opening up all your cabinets, drawers, you need to do that. You need to show what's included with everything. Same thing with here. I like a coffee station a little bit more with, I don't like any name brand in our homes. So all coffee gets poured into a container. It's just like soaps and shampoos as well. Will get poured into a container. It just looks a little bit more upscale, even if I'm using the Costco brand. Very 70s vibe.
It's definitely cool.
All right, so this is where the action is. This is tough. This is going to differentiate you more than the living room photo, but it's not a good photo. This looks dusty, which doesn't help, but this room needs some love, honestly. Not much, but it needs some attention and maybe just a better angle of the photo. But this is where your first photo should really be.
We've since added decor in there, like pictures on the wall, and made it a bit more fun.
Yeah, it's just like, and it's still dusty, but this is the type of photo you want. Just so you guys know, as I talk about philosophy, I don't mean to ever offend people. I do not like people in my photos, though. We don't do it. Not believers in that. I don't think it helps people imagine themselves. Also, I don't want to think anyone else ever touched anything there, even though they did, obviously. I also don't like people to see the cleaners. You know, I like people to think the house cleaned itself. Maybe I'm just an impossible human, but that is just the standard that we reach for. So, but yeah, you guys did a very good job with the design. Like I said, overall, you have somewhat of a theme throughout, which I appreciate. I want that theme to run in more into the garage. Is this a heated space, I assume? They hang up on me?
No, Faye's still there.
Yeah, it's heated.
Okay.
Yep.
So that in the winter right now, the two things that are going to help you where you are is a heated area to hang out. So this is a huge plus. And then the hot tub. And so I'd say, like, you spent money on these amenities. These aren't cheap. The sauna's not cheap. And I might be wrong, but is these the only two photos of the sauna? I think they are. So
Yeah, that's all I saw.
so you want to showcase that. The sauna is no, like, comparably to everything else in this room, the sauna is the standout. The sauna is the thing. A lot of people have a foosball table. A lot of people have games. We've bought so many of these basketball hoops things before. A lot of people have those. Not everyone
I have
has
more
a sauna.
photos I could add.
We need to dress it up, though. We need some rolled towels over there. Let's sell some spa experience, you know? Let's work on getting, that's a selling point, and that probably should be in your first photo. Like, you're going the opposite direction of amenities that I want you to really shoot at, is like go from that side over this. And the angle not make sense for that, what I'm saying, but like we want to focus on the sauna, and then we plus have additional items in here too. And maybe try to differentiate, like this is a health space and this is a play space too, somehow. But yeah, you need to be, this needs to be, the sauna needs to be in your first photo, 100%, but it needs to be done right. And then also, what I always tell people too is you have a hot tub out here. It looks like a pretty good one too, pretty decent sized one. We need to dress up around it. And you need other things going on out here. Like you guys definitely, read the book on amenities for Airbnb, but they need to be, it's like there needs to be filler going in between these two. We need some string lights.
We're actually having a fire pit built, but right now it's like frigid out there. The ground's too hard to break. We're actually having a whole area built with string lights, which will connect to the hot tub area. We just bought at the time that we weren't able to complete the backyard, ready for launch.
Well, so like you have the Adirondack chairs, you have a fire pit even out here right now, and just in case you weren't doing that, and for people on this call, like I want this photo to not be portrait, and I want it to extend to include other amenities over here, like the fire pit, like seating. I also really like the even like a simple fence, privacy fence put up back here, where you could put hooks for towels. You can paint stuff on it too if you want to, but it just kind of adds to, I'm not looking at the neighbor while I hang on this hot tub. This is a very, we know the Midwest well. It's very, very flat and two-story houses, so everyone can see into your yard. But just some simple stuff like that, even for just the photo's sake, that it looks like it's more of an enclosed space, but it's also including these amenities. And then you had string lights going on over it, and then ideally a twilight shot that shows the string lights on a purple sky. Like you're adding a lot to the place. But we like you guys are definitely on the lower end of needing any
Yeah.
help with your list.
I agree. Yeah, the design's really cute. So Faye or Robin, whoever gets to take credit for that. Or maybe you hired somebody.
We hired somebody.
Well, they did a good job. They did a really good job. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say we want it to be right, so we always spend the money on the design, the setup, because we want to be in that, the top, like you say, what does it? You have to be in the top 20% to make the 80% of the money.
Can I ask, did you hire a local designer, somebody local to Des Moines, or was it virtual?
Yeah, they were local, and they actually did the full setup for us as well.
So they did the install as well.
Yeah, we went there. We spent 10 days just finishing things off.
Fantastic. So obviously from your accents, I'm guessing that you're not born and raised in West Des Moines.
No, we're obviously from the UK, as you can hear, but we are actually in Florida.
Amazing. So, well, yeah, this is a great property. I mean, I hope that it does well for you. I will say, as a designer, I think that the choices they made were fantastic. There's some things that I feel like we could change just to kick it up another notch. So I actually put in the chat for your benefit and anybody else that's in the Des Moines area on this call. This Airbnb listing that I found is currently doing 190,000, and they do
Urban
not have
Oasis.
Yeah, and it's in West Des Moines. They have a lot of amenities, but they do not have a hot tub, which we know in the Midwest is one of the biggest amenities we can have because of how unbelievably cold it gets here in the wintertime. But no, I'm sorry, they do have a hot tub. I'm a liar. I just didn't see it at first. Okay, the hot tub is there. They have other amenities too, but what I wanted you to see is good design is super important, but photographing it is also super important. And I feel like your photos are not conveying how well that property was designed. So if you haven't yet invested in professional photography, or if you have, but maybe that person didn't take the best photos, I would highly recommend that you get, honestly, whoever photographed this one, Ryan, if you want to pull that up, it's the very last thing in the chat.
Yeah, we know that that's our main competitors, and that's the reason we invested in this market. But based on what they're achieving, I think this is a first draft in terms. 100% right on the photographs. We look at it on a daily basis, and some of them are good, some of them could be a lot better. But for a couple of hundred extra bucks, just to go back in and be very specific in terms of what we're looking for, we know we can do better. But again, we were hoping to launch.
Understood. We get that a lot, and I mean, Ryan, I can tell you what feels that from in his soul. Nothing makes him more frustrated than not being able to get the photographs taken so we can get it launched, because we've been through that a few times. But I will just say that there's really only one chance to make a first impression. So a person who's looking today won't book your property over this one. So just keep that in mind. I get it. I get getting launched. You've obviously already had a guest, but it should be that of the most highest priority to get that rephotographed and get the photos updated. It is that important. Understood, taken on board, but we can't kind of do it until we've got the backyard finished as well, right? So we're kind of waiting on that piece. No, I understand. And we've had to take photos in the wintertime too, and it's I just cannot wait for spring to get here so that we have some more life back in our outdoors, so that we can rephotograph some of our spaces. Literally for that purpose, because it just doesn't look inviting when when it looks like it's the cold Midwest. It feels like that when you look at the photos.
I think we're all on the same hymn sheet for sure.
Agreed. Olga says agreed. Amazing design, photographer, not so much. 100%. The design's amazing, super good. I'm excited for you guys to get it you know, completed and rephotographed because it's going to be a showstopper.
All right, hopefully that was helpful for you guys. We're running out of time here, so I'm going to try to get through one more real quick. And so,
Can I ask, what is the situation with bunk beds? I get the impression that a lot of people don't like them.
It's a love-hate relationship.
the cleaners don't like them, that's for sure.
Cleaners hate them. The cleaners hate them. Kids love them.
It depends on the space and if it's going to make sense or not. If I'm going to put 2 beds in a room, I think I would probably lean bunk bed though, especially if you can fit a decent size one. The multiple beds in a room has kind of gone out of style. Again, depends on the space though and where.
But if you had the option, would you do a pull out underneath as opposed to a bunk bed?
Depends on the space. So we've done trundles, we've done lots of trundles, we've done lots of bunk beds, we've done
Liddell, it really depends on your target audience. If you're targeting kids, bunk beds, but if you're targeting an older crowd, you want a trundle, because it's just what 30-plus-year-old person wants to come a bunk bed.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I know Ryan does. He'll act like he doesn't, but
yes, it's definitely a kid thing.
Yeah.
Usually, yeah. All right, Rachel Phillips, are you still on?
Yep, I'm still here.
Okay.
Good.
All right, we're gonna do your place real quick.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm in a really like seasonal type business here in Rhode Island, but we are like, this listing specifically is very close to the University of Rhode Island, so we get like parents coming in to visit for the weekend, things like that in the off seasons. I just listed this like probably a month ago and we've only gotten 1 booking so far, so I'd love your take.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me let my 11 o'clock know that I'm going to be a few minutes late. And
Okay.
let's get into it.
Do you want me to have?
I'm doing it right now.
Okay.
All right. Well, that gets done. So, who's Bethany?
Bethany is the host. I'm the co-host.
Okay, gotcha. Are these your best amenities?
Probably not, no.
Okay. I just don't want to, I assume you heard me talking about the other ones.
Yeah.
But something to consider is people know where it is.
Okay.
I would probably start here and work your way to the best amenities that you have.
Great. Okay.
Because again, the location is on the same page, but people are searching in that location. It's not like they say anywhere in the U.S. and then people pop up and then they get to figure out where it is. They're already looking in that area. So I can tell right away that the photos that it looks like someone's house. Like it looks like a nice house that someone lives in, but these photos are not drawing me to a vacation rental. They just feel kind of bare right away out of the gate. And again, if this is your very best first photo, then we have some things to work on. You are going to struggle if this is the best that you got to offer. As always, guys, I'm not trying to be mean with this. I'd rather be I am kind, but I'm not nice kind of thing. I want you guys to do well. And so me lying to you about it is not going to help. So if this is the best photo that you have, there are other places that look like this, and there's a lot of places that look better than this too. So if there's no other amenities to the place but this, then you are going to struggle. It's just the way the world is right now. Again, photo tour, here we are. So scroll the photos real quick. You've gotten 1 booking, you said, in the last 2 months?
Month, yeah.
Month, okay. So good rule of thumb of bookings that we shoot for is we want every 2 weeks to get 4.
Okay.
We want ideally, about 2 a week, but sometimes you'll get 3 in 1 week and 1 in the other, whatever. But so I would imagine you guys did not pay a designer to design this place, right?
No, so the host does use it periodically. So that's where we're kind of running into that. And that honestly is a decent amount of my business and kind of where I run into that aspect of being able to really curate these to kind of the STR market.
What's the decent size part of your business?
I would probably say 50%.
No, what are you referring to? I missed what you were saying.
Sorry. Is hosts that utilize it on
okay. Yeah. And that's difficult. And that's, I mean, honestly, we had to tell a bunch of people to F off after a while because it was just when they're using it, it's just owners are already like a pain. But when they also use the house constantly, then, you know, most of the time we tell them to kick rocks because, and honestly, they're hard on it and they leave it like shitty for the cleaners. Like it's not great. But I also understand that too. They're like, I don't want it to look like in my house because I want to enjoy it. Then you need to tell her that's totally fine. You're not going to make any money. I can totally appreciate your point of view of wanting your house to look like you want it, but understand that you're going to be underwater with it. And maybe that's fine. I have plenty of people that I help that they're like, hey, I only need to make this amount every year. Or like, I don't care how much it makes at all. Like I'm going to pay the mortgage, no problem. And that's fine too. They don't need to worry about optimizing it as much. But from looking at the last listing we looked at to this listing, I just want people to understand that the having a place professionally designed, like I'm not just saying these things because we design Airbnbs, but it costs you one way or another. You either spend the money in the beginning and do it right, or it's just going to cost you in making less money over time. And so this house is a super nice house. Like overall, it's nice and clean. Like I appreciate that a lot of the houses we looked at today too had grommet curtains, which we cannot stand, but you do not. So I at least have that I appreciate. But there needs to be more draw, so you need more amenities. It looks like the biggest amenity you really have is probably the exterior.
Large deck. Yeah.
And that's a problem, you know, in today's world. And so this house is not screaming boutique hotel, and it's just going to struggle. Now, we can look at a few things that might be able to, you know, inch you up a little bit, but overall, like unless you add, and you have such a big deck here too.
And we need the photographer to come back out once it's in season, but yeah.
Yes, please. Rachel, how far are you from the water in this property?
Probably about 3 miles.
That's not bad. So 5 minutes drive?
Yep. Yeah.
I would say that. I would highlight that. I would want to know that as a traveler.
Okay.
Looks like into the ocean.
You have no other amenities.
Coastal.
Yes. So if you guys have no amenities to list, then you definitely want to find amenities to list, and that's definitely one of them. Right there is location. Like you don't need to mention where it is, but you can say that the distance, whatever sounds shorter, the either mileage or the drive, I would mention. It sounds like the drive sounds shorter. Or you could say, you know, 3-mile walk or something like that to the ocean or whatever. But that's an amenity that you need to try to squeeze out for sure. But
am I reading this wrong? It says 5 guests but 4 beds. I guess some of them are twins, huh?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's tough. Yeah.
I also don't think too, guys, that like a 2-bedroom house should easily sleep 5. And you're by doing 2 twins like this instead of just a queen or even a full, you are kind of singling yourself out from certain guests, maybe 2 couples, right? Like, now don't get me wrong, my wife would probably love this setup, but depends on the day, I guess. But yeah, so it's tough because it's not your place. It's not your place to do these things too. So it's really hard to speak to you about it. But doing the multiple beds, especially small beds that sleep one person, unless it's like a dedicated kid space, and you have like I would only do this on probably my fourth plus bedroom, maybe fifth. Like definitely not
Yeah.
in the second. So this should be another big bed in here. I like the white linens. Like these beds look comfortable. They're made nice. Like it looks nice in general. I would do curtains for sure. Add some contrast in here. It's a lot of white, which we love. We love a blank slate like this, but you have to use other things to bring depth to the photo.
Yeah.
And ideally not the green carpet.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but you could keep a coastal still feel with color. But and then so I would even, I mean, you do have a grill. I would mention that in the title too. Any amenity that is included, maybe just outdoor seating area, like I would include that. I would maybe find this might be your best photo. I don't know.
Well, and if it is, my 2 cents on it, Rachel, is that the first photo is a very nice photo, but the next 4 after it are of the same space.
It is. Yeah, I know.
So I personally would like to see more of the house in that first 5 in just the one space.
And do you so the reason why I did that is I kind of like to tell the story of walking through the house. And so on the mobile app, I feel like it looks nice because you're just flicking through the photos. But then if you're on the desktop, I see exactly what you're saying. So it's it's kind of tricky.
Yeah. I very rarely look at Airbnb on my phone personally.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know. Maybe, yeah. Okay. So maybe that's the minority, and
I honestly don't know if I am in the minority or the majority, but I just know that it doesn't feel like I get enough information on my phone. Also, I have eyes of a 90-year-old person, so I need to be able to see it on a bigger screen. But it just feels like to me that the first 5 photos being of the same space feels like I am it's not interesting enough.
Yeah.
You've lost my attention.
Yep, I see it now.
You need you need, maybe that's your first photo, but you need a living room shot, probably
that one right there. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I would include a bedroom, and then I would include, and not the twins, I would include maybe this guy, and then I would do this guy.
Yeah.
The grill needs a better placement too. This is horrible.
Yeah.
So you want quick hitters, right? Just some boom, boom, boom. These are about the house. This is the best I got. I hope you like it. Please book. These are, it's just a lot of I'm really familiar with the cushions by the time I've gotten through these 5 photos.
Yeah, that's same too.
But other things too, real quick, and then I gotta hop off here, is about the space is no dreaminess. It is too many words. It needs to be bullet points.
Yeah, okay.
And ideally not dashes or the dots. We do the little arrows. You could do emojis, whatever you want to do. Give it a little bit of style, but people see this and they're like, I don't have time for that. But if you put it into bullet points, the way that our brains work is people will read it, and you want them to. But you can just, as ChatGPT is my best friend, I just copy this into ChatGPT and ask it to turn into bullet points for you.
Yep.
It'll give you spit out a good one, and then
I like the emojis too, personally. I like seeing the emojis as bullet points, like Faye and Robin did. That it makes me realize a little shrimp is probably regarding food of some sort, and I'm gonna be like, oh, that entices me. I like food.
Yeah.
Tell me more about the food.
Are you guys using pricing software?
Yes, Price Labs.
Yeah. So you guys got at least a special offer going. This should be more extreme. So discount it should be a fake discount, guys. Always, ideally. I mean, obviously, if you're lowering your rates because you're not getting bookings, you're not getting bookings, lower your rates. But when you're discounting something, inflate the price and then add the discount to it. So the discount can be substantial. Saving $72 is not going to move the needle enough. Now, if this was originally $800 and I was saving, $250, that seems more substantial, that I have more urgency to book.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope that was helpful. This one went way too long. I probably need to block off my schedule after these calls. I'm sorry we didn't get to everyone's today. I sent everything through. Follow us on Instagram, where we're going to be posting all this stuff every day. I think I posted it in the chat. I also sent you guys the YouTube link. You'll all get a text message too for the YouTube video when it's up. It'll be up later today. You can see everything there. But yeah, I appreciate it, guys, and we'll be back next week. It looks like mostly we've been doing listing reviews, and maybe we'll just jump right into that next week so we have a little bit more time instead of trying to give people time to ask questions, because I'd like to get through more of them, honestly, and have a little bit more information for you guys because they're all a little bit different. So
yeah, I agree. And honestly, I think if you have questions, like, you need to be in the chat within the first minute so we can get those answered quickly.
yeah, and post your links in the chat, post your questions in the chat. That's definitely how to get. We just went in order, so whoever gets in there first gets it. So, and Olga, just so you know, like, you should be able to inflate your price. This is, I guess, if you're using a PMS. If you're not using a PMS, you should be. So what are you doing there? But I don't know about Booking.com. I think you can, but Airbnb is doing the heavy lifting. If you're not getting 60% or more of your listings from Airbnb, Airbnb doesn't like you. And we need to fix that because they are the 800-pound gorilla in the room. So, but if you use a PMS, you can do a markup on a channel specific, and so you can increase your rates. You need to be able to do that anyways because they all charge different amounts for their commission, especially with the changes. So yeah, I would just increase it. Yep, on Guesty as a markup. We do a 40% markup and then a 30% discount. So, all right, guys. Like I said, everything will be up later today. If you scheduled your call for the design contest, I'll see you guys a little later. If you couldn't find room, just shoot us a text, and we'll try to squeeze you in later this week or early next. But other than that, everyone have a great week. Thank you, Misty.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.